Can you hear me well? Yes, thank you for the microphone. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome. My name is Sarah Kölzow, and I am here to welcome you all on behalf of the Platform on Disaster Displacement to this Ignite session, where we are extremely pleased to present jointly with the government of Colombia and Ecuador the results of an extremely exciting simulation exercise that was organized 2 months ago at the border between Colombia and Ecuador, simulating the cross-border disaster displacement of persons and trying to see if governments are ready to receive these people crossing a border in the context of disaster and climate change. I know that many of you here are working regularly on evacuation. You know how to assist people who are displaced in the context of a disaster. You know what to do to protect and help your nationals. But are you really prepared to receive your neighbors if they come across the border in the context of a sudden onset event? Many countries are not yet, and that is although the Sendai framework recognizes displacement as a very important impact that disasters have on people all over and regularly. And the Sendai framework also invites governments to work together across borders to address disaster displacement. But how do you do that in practice? So we have invited representatives from Colombia and from Ecuador to share with us how they've done it. We're going to see a short video, but before we go there, after the video we're going to have representation from Colombia and Ecuador on this panel. And first I would just like to invite you to join us on a trip. Travel with us in the remaining 10 minutes to South America, more concretely to Ipiales, which is a city in Colombia, very close to the Ecuadorian border, where from 29 to 30 March, representatives from the governments, but also NGOs, other stakeholders, Red Cross, for example, armed forces, all the different actors involved in the response and the assistance have come together to check their existing protocols and see if they really are ready for displacement occurring across an international border. We're going to watch the video, and then I invite the representatives up on the stage to give their remarks.
En los desastres no hay fronteras. Cuando se trata de una comunidad, cualquiera que fuere, es para atenderla y para socorrerla.
Respuesta a los planes operativos anuales binacionales entre Colombia y Ecuador, los días 29 y 30 de marzo se llevó a cabo un ejercicio de simulación binacional enfocado en desplazamiento por desastres, el cual convocó a entidades de los sistemas nacionales de gestión de riesgos y atención de emergencias de ambos países. El ejercicio permitió actualizar información y conocimiento general sobre las herramientas e instrumentos existentes en ambos países para la gestión de la movilidad humana derivada de desastres, entre estos protocolos binacionales existentes en materia de comunicación, procesos para la coordinación, la toma de decisiones y la coordinación binacional. Mediante una metodología de simulación de mesa, el ejercicio binacional de 2 días tuvo como objetivo aplicar y valorar los procesos de planeación, articulación, coordinación y comunicación entre las entidades de los sistemas de riesgos de ambos países, comunidades fronterizas y otros actores, todo con la finalidad de contribuir al fortalecimiento de las capacidades nacionales de Colombia y Ecuador con relación a la respuesta humanitaria por desplazamiento transfronterizo ocasionado por desastres de origen natural, incluidos procesos de evacuación y atención de personas extranjeras y migrantes.
El día de hoy, en esta oportunidad, estamos desarrollando un ejercicio binacional enmarcado en una simulación, la cual busca poner a prueba particularmente 2 enfoques. El primero, el plan de contingencia departamental y el plan de contingencia de los municipios limítrofes bajo la actividad volcánica del Cerro Volcán Chiles y Cerro Negro, el cual es un escenario compartido con la vecina República del Ecuador.
Mancomunarnos y unirnos entre todas las entidades, tanto ecuatorianas como colombianas, pues para lo que es un manejo en situaciones de sismos y manejo de desplazamiento de personas por este tipo de catástrofes.
Nos quedan muchas experiencias, digamos, aprendidas, pero también colocarlas en campo todo lo que hemos aprendido, mejorar.
Podría recomendar es continuar sus relaciones de coordinación y comunicación y fortalecer cualquier protocolo o iniciativa binacional.
Y de ahora en adelante articular todo lo que nos hace falta para que si llega a ocurrir una emergencia, nosotros podamos atenderla de la mejor manera.
Muy agradecido con la plataforma de desplazamiento por desastres y de igual manera con todo lo que es la Secretaría de Gestión de Riesgo del Ecuador, que tuvieron amablemente venir aquí a nuestra ciudad de Ipiales, a la ciudad de las nubes verdes.
Es importante generar mecanismos de articulación entre los países fronterizos porque nuestras comunidades comparten territorios y los fenómenos no tienen fronteras.
La simulación es un ejercicio de escritorio donde básicamente destinamos una sede o un local y se reúnen todos los representantes de las instituciones que participan en la gestión de riesgos y de desastres de un determinado país.
El ejercicio contó además con la participación de personal técnico y operativo de los departamentos y municipios fronterizos de ambos países, incluida representación de los resguardos indígenas, Fuerzas Armadas y algunas organizaciones no gubernamentales. Estos esfuerzos de articulación binacional responden además a las prioridades de marco de Sendai para la reducción de riesgo de desastres, en particular la realización de ejercicios periódicos de preparación, respuesta y recuperación ante los desastres, incluidos simulacros de evacuación, con el fin de asegurar una respuesta rápida y eficaz a los desastres y los desplazamientos conexos, incluido el acceso a refugios y a suministros esenciales de socorro alimenticios y no alimenticios según las necesidades locales.
Un balance que nos deja muchas lecciones aprendidas y de igual manera poder conformar un protocolo binacional o una estrategia que nos una a los dos países es la máxima ilusión que tenemos.
Thank you very much for joining us in South America while we're gathering here in Bali. And I have the honor to ask on the stage now the representative of Colombia, His Excellency Juan Camilo Valencia, who's the ambassador of Colombia to the Republic of Indonesia. We have just seen that the simulation exercise really addressed displacement across borders. We know that not so many governments are already trying to implement getting ready. And I would really, after we've seen these images now and the video impressions, like to ask the ambassador, do you feel ready now? Do you feel you are prepared to receive displaced persons across disasters from now on? What were your lessons from the exercise?
Thank you. I will share these insights with you. On behalf of the President of Colombia, Iván Duque Márquez, and on behalf of the General Director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, Mr. Eduardo José González Angulo, and on my behalf, I extend a cordial and affectionate greeting to all those present. It is very significant for us, as the leading entity of the risk management system in Colombia, to present the experience we have had together with Ecuador with the support of Disaster Displacement Platform. In this binational simulation exercise, we achieved an articulation in the territory with the local and regional entities of Ecuador and Colombia. The exercise allowed us to strengthen technical capacities in the event of a disaster in the border area, with the importance that all the entities of risk management system were present in the city of Ipiales on March 28 and 29 this year. As main lesson, the activities within the framework of the binational annual operational plans must continue to be articulated with the territories to strengthen technical capacities at all levels. Likewise, I would like to emphasize the importance of socializing the existing protocols and manuals with the local entities, since knowledge of international tools allow us to better face possible emergencies in the territories. Finally, I would like to thank the National Risk and Emergency Management Service in Ecuador for their willingness to make this exercise a success. Together with our foreign ministries, we have managed to make the annual operation plans and planning instruments that has allowed us, both countries, to make progress in the risk management. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you for sharing the key lessons from your perspective. And I would now like to ask the representative of Ecuador, Cristian Torres Bermeo, as the Director General of said National Service of Risk and Emergency Management, to share your perspective. Do you feel prepared, and what are the lessons that you learned in this exercise?
Thank you very much. Greetings to all. Preparation is a continuous process that never ends. When this hazard continued to start in 2014, personally I was working at the field. So when the volcanoes Chiles and Cerro Negro started his activity, the governments of Colombia and Ecuador starting to work together in order to respond to this hazard. And we realized in that year that we didn't have any protocols, we didn't have any preparation to receive people from Colombia. That's when we started working together, Colombia and Ecuador, to receive people, to attend them with all the standards, applying sphere project, minimum standards, and then we feel more prepared. But now, as I said, this is a continuous process. With the help of the platform of disaster displacement, we continue preparing for this disaster. The activity is still on, so we have to continue prepare. This simulation made possible to test all the protocols, to remember the authorities, the local authorities, that we have protocols, that we have to respect them, and to feel secure that the people that can be displaced in the moment that the volcanoes increase their activity will be attended by Colombia or Ecuador government with all the minimum standards and in time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Torres Bermeo, for sharing your perspectives. We have just heard now from two governments who do have a binational operational plan and who have tested their existing protocols, and they seem to be on a very good way and seem to be ready for the next disaster event that might displace persons across the joint border. So it is just now in the remaining minute on me to thank you for your interest and to invite all of you who are interested to maybe do the same, to maybe pick your neighboring government and become the next couple of countries that is trying to simulate not just disaster response, but response to a disaster event that displaces people with the very specific protection and assistance needs that arise in this context of cross-border displacement. We invite you to have a look for resources on the Platform on Disaster Displacement website, www.disasterdisplacement.org, where you can find also a longer video recording with more in-depth information about the simulation exercise and further resources on disaster displacement. I have to really thank the governments of Colombia and Ecuador for agreeing also to share this great learning experience with all of us here, and hopefully all of you in different regions of the world as well. We hope to be back maybe in Asia, or in the Pacific, or in Africa, or another region that would be interested to get ready and prepared for cross-border disaster displacement. And we are here to help you at the Platform on Disaster Displacement. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of this Global Platform 22.